I'm really liking the direction this episode took of Yowamushi Pedal. Now, real quick before I get on to the actual, episode review, I want to announce something. Anyone that hasn't seen my Chibi news yet, Yowamushi Pedal has a confirmed Season 2 to be coming out in October. Just letting you all know that if you did not know that piece of information yet. So anyways, let's continue on with this review. Okay, so Tadokoro right at the end, that fucking cliffhanger once again. Why is Yowamushi Pedal so bad with just building up fucking tension and then just having a cliffhanger? I mean, the cliffhangers just slap you so fucking hard. I mean, seriously. So, I mean, I'm really happy the way Tadokoro actually did take damage from yesterday, the first day. The reason why is because if he was to just get on his fucking bike the second day and start just riding completely fine after we had that tension from last episode, I would have called serious bullshit. I really would have. But seeing actually how he was still holding a farce, just, holding it back, even though we know he was probably weakened, and as I said in my last review, he had a handicap. And while we clearly see that he can't race, or maybe Tadokoro is holding back something, okay, here's my different theories of what Tadokoro most likely is doing. Either A, he is pretty much weakened and he cannot race no longer, which that's probably the obvious thing right there. Or most likely Tadokoro realizes he cannot keep up with the fast pacers like the aces up front, so he's going to try to hold back everybody behind him by himself, like Mito Tsuji did. Remember when Mito Tsuji went in the middle of the race, his entire team is holding back the entire line? What if Tadokoro tries to do that by himself? I mean, I don't see how one guy could do it. I mean, maybe he could try something like that. I have no clue. But besides that, is Tadokoro done? That is the main thing we have to think right here. As Kenjo said, this is where majority of the dropouts are going to be in. I mean, for instance, all the teams, anyone that's going to drop out will drop out this day. Anyone that can't continue will drop out. So, will Sohoku be able to continue on with their racers, their full team, or will Tadokoro drop out? I mean, and if Tadokoro does drop out, will anyone else drop out on the team? Will Maki drop out? I mean, is it possible? I mean, seriously, the way it's looking now, it's not looking too good for Sohoku. I mean, since they announced this Season 2, I'm just going to say most likely something bad is going to happen in this entire race, or something's going to happen, because they wouldn't announce the Season 2 right before this day, right when tension's fucking building up. But that's just me placing my cards there. But besides the ending, besides Tadokoro pretty much just not being able to move, or something else is going on, the other part of this entire episode was good. Mainly the focus of this entire episode was just after the first day race, and trying to build up once again more fucking tension. This entire episode was set up for the second day, building up tension for you could just feel the emotions in the second day race. Like, for instance, we get to see Imaizumi realize he's weaker than Mito Tsuji, and he said he didn't need to even be part of Sohoku or race anymore because he couldn't keep up with the very person he wanted to actually beat in the Inter High. So right there, it just shows you the actual pressure Imaizumi is under when he entered this race on the second day, even the first day. And then we have Naruko and Onoda. These two seem to be the best conditioned out of all of them besides Kenjo. Those three seem to have taken the least amount of damage in this entire race. I mean, if we look at it as standpoints, they may have raced their ass off, but they seem to be less exhausted. As we all know, Makishima, he seemed a little bit exhausted, not as much, but he most likely will wear down in this race right here. And then we have, for instance, Kenjo. For some reason, if I remember a couple episodes back, many episodes back, I remember Hakone announcing that all their racers are aces. And now, if we remember correctly, Kenjo's their only ace. So what if Kenjo falls? What if Kenjo falls and cannot continue to race, okay? They've had to account for this, so pretty much there has to be other racers in Sohoku that most likely can kick up the slack. I mean, the entire efforts, what we've seen from the first day, it showed that it was a team effort. They were working together, and they were working to pass this first day and just completely beat the first day and get in first place. But if we look at it as a standpoint, okay, everybody in the first day had to pitch in to be able to get in first. And if we look at Hakone, there was only a couple that was really trying hard. Hakone has less weakened members and less exhausted, while Sohoku has almost every single member had to do something the day before, and most likely will start feeling exhaustion, maybe not the second day, but the third day. So right there, we'll have to see where it goes, and as we all know about Mito Tsuji's team, he's pretty much really the only one that's technically racing on his team. I mean, he's definitely not a team player, and most likely will eventually be his downfall. I mean, Mito Tsuji's a fucking epic character. I've said that before, but Mito Tsuji's downfall is definitely going to be in his lack of teamwork. And that's where, Hakone and Sohoku is going to beat him at, because he's too much of a solo player, and he feels like, anyone trying effort to beat in a wide margin is gross. So that's going to be Mito Tsuji's downfall. But overall, this was a good episode. I like it a lot. It was a really fucking decent episode. I like the tension. Even though the cliffhanger pissed me off, because you know how I feel about cliffhangers, it was still a good cliffhanger, because it makes me question what is Tadokoro doing? Is he just exhausted? Or is he doing something else? But besides that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you feel like Tadokoro is going to drop out? Or do you feel like he's doing something else? Do you think he's just having a late start? Let me know in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.